people seem more excited about this.
It looks so good.
This is good.
It looks so good.
Yeah. This is nice.
It's if you told Toyota go off and build a Viper.
This really does scream AMG to me.
Absolutely, yeah. But AMG from 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Especially how this how the windshield comes up really pretty vertical for being a coupe. It comes up. It's not as sloped as I would have expected.
Yeah.
And that to me screams Mercedes.
Yep. Yeah, that A-pillar, look how far back. It's like halfway down the car.
Yeah. It's like
Like a Viper or that AMG.
Yeah. I mean, all those cars in that category, Viper, Miata. Yeah. If I can get you to roll your eyes, then I win. You don't understand. That's the goal.
I can't help it.
That's the goal.
I can't help it. Those rims are cool too.
Yeah,
the whole thing. There's not anything I don't like about it.
There isn't a single angle I've seen of it that isn't awesome. And also, do you notice the LFA intake looking thing on the back?
Mm-mm.
Right here over the rear haunch? That screams LFA.
Yeah. The fact that they have this, I think people are like, all right, whatever. The new LFA is electric. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We're more excited about this now then.
Yeah. And
this gives something for people to grab onto and be like, all right, here's our internal combustion, Halo car.
Don't worry, enthusiasts.
Yeah.
You haven't been left behind. It worked on me. I'm more excited about this than I am mad about the LFA.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the back of this thing, oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my goodness. Is that not so cool?
It looks really good.
Oh, somebody had fun.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to have fun with? They're like, all right, just make a ground up race car.
Yeah, the Stratos, they made it bespoke as a race car and then had to make it somewhat livable to sell them and homologate it.
Yep. I mean, the exterior on this looks really nice. Like it's not like a stripped down race car on the inside.
Right.
The GT3 version is.
You wouldn't think that getting in this. You wouldn't think this is a race car with more comfortable seats. You would get in this and go, this is a regular road car. But when you look at them side by side, you go, clearly this was made to be a race car. Mm-hmm. And then they took it over and went all right, make this thing more livable.
For those that don't know, this does not have a V10, but it does have a 4-liter V8 twin turbocharged in a hot V arrangement, 641 horsepower, electrically assisted. I don't understand the electrical assistance. Is that to help with the turbo, or does that actually provide power directly to the wheels?
I don't know. I don't know what electrical assistance it's getting. I know electric turbos were pioneered by Porsche just in this most recent version of the turbo.
Corvette too. Doesn't the new ZR1 use
electric turbos?
ZR1X, doesn't that use?
It might actually, but it's all very recent.
Yeah.
The point. The point is it's very recent. So they maybe it's electrically assisted turbos, which effectively turns the lag into nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The Porsche Turbo, it gained 120 pounds from the previous version, but is a full second quicker in the quarter mile or something. It's some absurd amount different because the turbos now have basically no lag, and then they also function. The turbos themselves work as generators in that car. I don't know if you knew that.
Mm-mm.
So it has two turbos, and they're both generators.
Oh, actually, I did know that.
Which is super cool.
Because instead of being a wastegate and that potential gets wasted, it uses that as kind of like a regenerative braking system. It recaptures that energy.
If you're on highway cruising, your regular exhaust can spin those fans to a decent speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it can just take that, and your battery just always is topped up, which is really cool.
Yeah, the platform on this is all new. It's Toyota's first aluminum space frame. So it's aluminum with extensive use of carbon fiber. It's still relatively heavy. It's a lot heavier than it looks. It's 3,850 pounds.
But it's big.
Yeah.
It's big. I mean, it's low, but it's really long.
They focused on aerodynamics and a low center of gravity. There's also, interestingly, no active aero at all.
Mm-hmm. I heard that was all for simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the back glass really makes me think of Supra.
Yep. So this is a homologation car. There's basically a twin to this. This is the road going version. There's a racing version to compete in GT3 events, and that's the GR-GT3. And it looks like this.
Yeah.
Wow, does that not scream
AMG
Viper ACR?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The big old wing on there, the cutouts over the wheel wells.
Mm-hmm. But those are aggressive cutouts too.
Yeah.
Those are like, we're not kidding around. This is not for looks. This is
Well, you know what's funny is if this were a Dodge vehicle, I would assume that's mostly for
looks.
show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But knowing Toyota, that's probably how they needed to be shaped for whatever fluid dynamics are going on.
Right. They're trying to take over the label of Godzilla, I think. I think those are the spikes on his back.
They're osteoderms is what they're called.
Nerd.
Side exhaust is pretty cool.
But this obviously has way more horsepower.
Maybe it doesn't, because the Ford GTD, the Mustang GTD, the road going version has significantly more power than the GT3 version. Because there's certain like horsepower limitations that you don't have. There's actually all kinds of limitations you don't have to work around for a road going version that you have to stick to in GT3 events.
Right.
But of course, the GT3 car is built for endurance and stripping out everything that isn't necessary. But still, there's all kinds of cool trick things that they added to the Mustang GTD road going version that the GT3 version doesn't have because it can't have them.
That's cool.
Yeah, look how aggressive that cutout is behind the front wheel.
Yeah. They are serious about getting rid of that turbulent air from behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And look at all the surface area it has to turn back to laminar flow against the body of the car.
Is that the fuel door up there?
Yes, but that's a racing fuel door.
Is the fuel door in the same place in the road going version? Is it way up there? It's hard. No, it's not.
I think it's on the other side of the car.
Yeah, very cool.